Eyewitness said it was possibly two males dressed up in full suits driving a black Chevy Camaro.
As good
Okay,
as
we're
Beyonce
recording.
is
it recording?
I've never really
Yes.
listened to her music that much.
I don't-
Like,
I'm
I
not
feel
a
like it's a
huge
little
fan.
overrated.
T Swift and Beyonce are the same to me.
You know, I feel like Rihanna over Beyonce. That's my hot
I
take
love
for the day.
Rihanna.
Oh
That's
no,
fucking love
Rihanna is
Rihanna.
way better.
Okay,
than
so it's
Beyonce.
not really even that hot. It's like a warm take.
This is a normal take.
I think
I'm way.
Lukewarm take.
Beyonce is great though. I will say she's
No, for sure.
she
She's
is
very talented,
unbelievable.
but Rihanna.
She's incredibly
she's
talented.
done. Okay, listen. I think you can look at the discography of Beyonce and you can easily respect it. I just think, and Taylor Swift equally, but I think
No.
you just have to.
That's what I was gonna say.
as
You're
in
all wrong. It's T
statistics
Swift.
and awards and accomplishments. you
Gross.
can put her in a high regard. I don't because I don't listen to her shit. But I'm just saying, Beyonce is just. You can't discard her.
The Beyonce.
You can't discard her,
beautiful.
but
Yeah,
Beautiful
that's
soul.
what I'm saying. But like, if it's like Rihanna or Beyonce, bro,
I'm choosing
But I think
Rihanna.
they're two different schools of thought a little bit. You know.
Maybe.
Two different.
explain.
Tooties.
Explain.
I just think that the culture around Beyonce is a lot different than obviously Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
and I think the
Yeah.
audience is a
Well,
lot.
I was talking
different.
about
It's
Rihanna.
pretty contrast.
Well, no, yeah, for sure.
That's what I was talking about.
Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
I was like, well, Taylor Swift fans and Beyonce fans are probably a lot different.
two different, different fucking books.
But
like, not even the same
Rihanna
page.
versus
But
Beyonce is
Rihanna,
Probably has both
never-
at them.
Very tough.
they
but I
always
think,
say don't
Probably
put two
both.
bad bitches against each other, but Rihanna's taking the cake.
for me
on
at
that
least.
one.
Really?
I love Rihanna.
I
dude.
love Rihanna,
I love
bro.
Rihanna.
She just has the
Dude,
vibe.
I fell to my knees when I found out she was pregnant by another man.
So you're saying there's not a
I
chance?
could have slid.
There's not a chance.
I was
Yeah,
dude,
I've done
in
that
the
before.
middle of the
Saying there's a
Walmart.
chance.
No.
Yeah. I've done that before. I remember when I found out Emma Watson was like had someone. I'm like, no.
Yo, so actually explain that. What's up with you and Emma Watson?
How do you know about that?
Oh.
Your podcast?
Your podcast?
I love Emma Watson, bro.
Yo, because there was
Why?
one episode, like I told you, I
I don't know what it
going
is.
back.
I don't know what it is. I think it's from like a childhood thing because she was always Hermione, and I think it was like a thing that just stuck with me. I fucking love Emma Watson, dude. I fucking love
My
her.
soccer
She's
trainer.
just so adorable. She's so cute.
My soccer trainer
I
was.
can't shake
get
it. I
you,
love her.
get you.
He was a dorm room with her when they went to Brown.
Who?
Wait, what?
My soccer trainer.
No way.
Oh my.
Yeah,
That's
he,
interesting.
He was in the same dorm as her,
No
which is super
shit.
crazy. Like
She went to
was-
Brown?
Yeah,
Oh,
Wait, Emma Watson.
I figured she went to somewhere in like England. Or
she
something.
has a
Yeah, she didn't go to
multitude of
Cambridge?
degrees.
I thought she
has
went
a-
to like Cambridge or Oxford or
She
something.
has a multitude of degrees, but
Oh,
that was
shit.
one of that she got, and he
Huh.
was there.
So is
with
Natalie
her.
Portman. I feel a lot of actors actually have a multitude.
I think
of
for
degrees.
me,
Yeah.
your Emma Watson is my Natalie Portman.
I love Natalie
Ah.
Portman too.
Natalie
I
Portman.
love Natalie Portman,
Also,
dude.
like,
She's
in
a
my-
close second, and then
Maybe
Selena,
my Sandra
Selena
Bullock.
Gomez is three. Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay. So for me, my top three, like celebrity wise, I think it's like
Childhood or now?
Sandra Bullock.
Now it's now it's still Selena Gomez.
It's
for
still
me.
the
It's
same.
still Selena
For-
Gomez.
Anna
like,
de
for me-
Armas? Are you
No,
kidding
no, no,
me?
no,
I love her.
no.
Okay,
Okay,
there-
okay.
there's just too many.
Selena's
I
acting
can't
ruined
just
it
put,
for me.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It's not good anymore.
So like in no particular order for me, top three: Jennifer Lawrence,
oh,
Hmm. I hate her. As a
Jennifer
person.
Lopez.
Selena
Oh.
Gomez,
Okay.
and Natalie Portman. In no
Those three
particular
still to
order.
this day.
To this day.
Where does J-
I
where does
got
J-Lo
Jennifer
fall?
Lopez up there too.
And
By the
in
way.
no
Where does J-Lo
particular
fall
order,
on
I
that
feel like-
line?
okay, for me, I think J-Lo is a little overrated.
No,
I
no,
agree.
she's not.
Hot take.
No,
That's
No.
my hot take. I,
I love
think
her.
J-Lo's
I
a
love
little
her.
Beautiful soul.
overrated.
Beautiful woman.
That's a
Those
good.
hips are starting to lie.
That's a great pull for. How dare you? That was a great pull for Ben Affleck. Good for Ben. I love Ben Affleck, by the way.
He deserved it. He
I love
deserved
Ben
it.
Affleck. I
He
love
deserved
him.
that.
But didn't he leave his like wife of many years for?
Well, he cheated on
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Gardner with his babysitter, and then was like, "No, Anna de Armas. Actually, no, J Lo."
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So he played the game. It's fine.
He did play the game. That's what you have to do if you're in that position.
Hollywood, baby.
Yeah.
If your name was Ben Affleck, I mean,
Do what
It's
you want.
Do you say Affleck?
Affleck.
is it Affleck?
That's
Affleck.
insurance.
Fleck.
Affleck.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of insurance, like you know how Shaquille O'Neal does all this. He's the number one bag chaser.
The general.
How
The
rich is-
general.
Does anyone even have that? Have you ever met anyone who has the general
You mean
insurance?
DJ Diesel?
I love DJ Diesel though, man.
Yo, it's
Dude.
kind of wild how you really like.
It's
just-
the spirit of
he
insurances.
came up in the EDM community just like out of nowhere.
Dude, did you hear why he started DJing and shit?
I heard it was like a hobby.
Why?
for him.
Well, he said the reason he likes doing it is because he tried to find something in life after his career that kind of replicated that feeling of the crowd and the energy, and
Oh,
he couldn't
the
find
hype.
anything until he started DJing, and that's why he started DJing, or
That's
that's why he
kinda
kept
fire.
doing it.
That
I
makes
guess.
sense as like an athlete.
Like
that-
the
an
energy and
A-lister
how
athlete.
it felt. He's like, I couldn't find anything that came close.
I can understand that. I mean, I've DJ'd for a crowd of 10 people, and it was wild.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
the
can
best
DJ for
feeling
a
on
crowd of
earth.
10 people, and it's fucking amazing.
no,
Yeah.
It just depends on the 10 people.
because like I'm a big raver, and like a lot of my homies just had like decks and shit. So like there was one time when some of my friends actually put together like a festival. There was like 30 people at the fucking like party. It was basically a fucking party, but we like set it up like a festival where like people were camping there. They had someone like brought a porta potty. Like,
Damn.
How much
Yeah,
does
it
that
was
cost to rent?
dude.
It
this
was
guy- no,
theirs. They owned
this
it,
guy
so it had
owns-
your
I'm
stuff
not-
in
I'm
it.
not even fucking kidding. This guy owns a porta potty for these like small events like this. And
Really?
and he was just one
Genius.
of like the homies, and he brought it along. But we set up this like, well, I didn't set it up. I'm saying we as like a general thing. But like it was set up porta potty. There was like a lot of the homies DJ, so it was like time slots. So you would sign up. And then I was there on the first day kind of early, and they were like, yo, like, if anyone wants to go up, you can go up. And I know how to DJ a little bit. So I was, like, up there just, like, mixing house and shit.
That's
And it was kind of dope. There was, like, yeah, like 10 people just like, yo,
I can get down with some house.
How
bro.
we doing, Monroe?
You guys are fucking beautiful tonight. I love some house, bro.
We're
I
gonna
can get
need
down
to
with some
weirdly
fucking
And
house.
set.
that's, yeah, dude, house.
do.
House has my
I
heart
get
forever.
down to some fucking house, dude.
Dude, we still need to go to a show together.
Absolutely.
We talk about
Me
this all
too.
the time.
Yeah,
We need to-
seriously, we
yeah.
really do.
Take me.
Well, once
I would
isn't there,
go.
is there anything coming up?
See, I'm not going to
Some
go
of my
to,
friends
like,
are texting me
It's
about
up to you,
Thunderdome, but that's
Jose.
all dubstep.
That's all dubstep. I'm not going to go to, like,
Same thing, right?
dubstep shows anymore.
No, no, no,
Like
no,
dubstep's
no,
like-
no,
dubstep
no,
is
no.
like that.
See, I hate
I'm
that
just
shit.
messing
I
with
like
you. I
dubstep, but
know.
I hate the crowd now. And it might just be because I'm getting
Tell me why.
older
Tell me
and it's
why.
just-
Because
I hate-
Because
I
they're
hate
like
kids.
this.
I hate kids, bro. Because
What?
I
There's
feel like,
kids allowed there?
well, I mean in the sense of like 18.
18.
To like
Oh.
early 20.
All ages
It's like,
show.
Okay, like I've done drugs in my life. Like,
He's
I've
close
done
to
psychedelics.
30.
I've done like Molly and ecstasy and shit.
It's just
And
their
like
first
I feel
time.
like I was never that dumb.
No, I was
It's-
never.
I was never that
Absolutely.
like,
I know
much
what you're
of
talking
an
about.
idiot, and it's just like I hate being in that crowd. And now when I go to like shows, I'm like like towards the back, just like enjoying the music, and like if I want to dance, I'll like start shuffling. But like I hate being in the crowd the way I used to like when I was in my
Taking the
early
last one.
20s.
Sorry.
No,
That's
you're good,
fine.
you're good.
Take it.
But like yeah, I don't know. That's house shows. I feel like it's a lot more like not to
Vibey.
sound like well, yeah, it's vibey, but not to sound like a fucking like dick. But like I feel like the crowd is a little more sophisticated.
Hmm.
You know?
Mm.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. That was just
You
funny.
know what I'm saying? It's a little more sophisticated where the people that are at house
This
shows,
music's for the intellectuals.
It's twice the BPM.
Not like you
okay?
peasants. Not like you peasants.
it's like it's 80% of the BPM. Good house
It
is
is.
121 to
Yeah.
130.
I wasn't joking. I know what I'm talking about.
I will say though, like, I
Can you
think
give us that?
a
Wait,
lot of
do
people
you
go to
know
sh-
that BPM? Can you give me that BPM of the?
Yeah,
Oh, he's got it. He does.
It's the 120 to
is
120,
the
like
house.
130, like 128 is like the peak.
All we have to say is butts and guts really quick, and then it's
Butts and guts.
butts and guts.
It's what is it? Cats and boots.
butts and guts.
Butts and guts. I've
It was
never heard
always
that. I know
cats and
cats
boots
and
from
boots.
That's how you
Boots.
like count your BPM.
Where did
so
you
like,
hear butts and
That,
guts from?
that sounds like a term for getting fucked in the ass. Butts and guts.
Butts and guts.
Or
nice.
or tummy sticks is a good one too.
Yeah.
Tummy
You guys know what
But-
tummy sticks?
No.
No.
Explain.
You ever seen Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
When that
remember
guy's like, "You want to play tummy sticks?"
Oh, that's what that is?
I just
wanna
saw-
buy
I
death
just-
sticks.
one of the funniest fucking names for anything
I
I've
want to
ever
go
heard.
home and rethink my life.
I think I want to go home.
I want to go home.
You
and
want to sell
rethink
some
my
death
life.
sticks?
Actually, I'm gonna go home.
Exactly.
Weirdly artistic. Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird. We're back with Nick, Jay, and Jose.
It's weirdly artistic. We're talking art.
We're talking weird and everything under the sun.
Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.
Weirdly artistic.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Weirdly Artistic, episode 29, season 2. How we feeling tonight, boys?
Great.
Amazing.
Vibing.
And as you guys might be able to tell, we have a very special guest on.
The one and only.
Z one and only.
Where are we at? It's exclusive.
Z-Man,
Who we with? It's
Z-Legend.
exclusive.
Isaiah Lusney. The
Let's
other
see
half.
where this goes.
Let's see. That was a
That's
good one.
and that's the best episode you can have, baby.
So we have Isaiah Lusney as our special guest
Up
from
in the synagogue.
Around the Lunch Table
know?
podcast. The man himself. How you feeling tonight, baby?
Absolutely amazing. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes,
very
sir.
welcome.
Yes, sir.
Loving being here.
So we
Thank
had
you.
Jack on the last episode. He's the other half of Around the Lunch Table.
He is.
You are
We got the
from what
LT
I've
to the
heard,
AT.
the brains of
He is the
what
he is
started?
the front man. He's the
He's
little
the face.
louder. I'm the sleeper bet is what I am.
Yeah.
I'm the sleeper bet.
I'm going with the sleeper bet every
drone.
time, though.
every time.
Oh, me
dude.
too. If you want to
Every
make money,
time.
Long
I
term.
can't gamble on sports. I'm not gonna feel anything if I don't. go
Jack
with the
is more
underdog.
of the 3-1 bet. You know,
Texas
every week you're
Hold'em,
gonna win on
baby.
it. Like it's 3-1, you're gonna win,
Yeah.
right? You're more of the like 10-1, 15-1, where it's like, you know,
Yeah,
what, I'm gonna
to
do
fe-
it this week. And
to
let's
feel
do it.
something. I better know I'm losing something if I lose.
That's yeah.
kind
I
of
want to
thing.
feel bad
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna
100%
lose.
in, 100%
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
I go all in, and maybe that's a problem. I don't know.
No,
I
it's not.
haven't found that out about myself.
Has it been a problem?
Not yet.
Then
I
you're
think so.
fine.
I think so. I think so. But you know,
Hey, this is a podcast.
you know,
okay?
I go balls to the wall. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I go all fucking
Respect.
In. That's all I do.
Balls to the wall,
You know?
Lesney.
Lesney.
That's just the way
You know,
Z is.
Lucky Lesney is what they used to call me, dude.
Ooh,
Lucky
that's a
Lesney.
good one.
So you know, I
like
ride
that.
with it. I ride with it, and I ride hard, baby. No homo, but
Hold on
you know
to
what I
it.
mean.
Unless
Hold
you
on
need
hard
it.
and ride hard.
No.
I do, and gambling. That's what I do. I just, you know, I just go for it,
What is it about gambling? Is it just the rush?
dude. It's just a rush, man.
You know, I think that,
I'm explaining it like I need to be in therapy. I'm explaining it like I need to be in therapy.
AA right
Like,
now.
I looked at the wall and I'm like, man, I can't even begin to tell you.
So
it's
Z,
just, dude, it's so
You
fun.
might be
man.
wondering why we've gathered you here
Yeah.
today.
This is actually an intervention.
Jack walks in. My parents come out of the closet.
That's a
You-
small closet, but they're
Now
in
everyone
there.
go around and say how Z's gambling has affected you. I just fucking love gambling,
Here,
dude.
let
It's
me
just,
get my paper out real quick.
Yeah.
God,
I
it's
actually
just-
wrote some bullet points down.
It's just so
I have
fun,
a double
dude.
spaced
Like,
paper typed out.
Well, no, okay, so like I've never been a huge gambler, but like I will every
Neither
now
have
and then. I remember one of the last times I went to like Emerald Downs for the horse races.
I want to go.
I
I want to go there too.
With you,
just
dressed up nice and
randomly
fancy.
put money
Suits.
on this fucking horse
All of
Peaky
us.
because it
Blinders?
had my mom's name in it, and I won. I fucking won.
And that, dude, that's
it
the
was-
crazy shit
no,
about
it was
betting.
like
It can't be
6-1.
it can't be like
Bro.
statistics or who's the favorite. It has to be like a gut instinct.
Bro, I put $8 on that fucking race. I went home with 50, and it was like, I mean, it's 50 plus. It's like, it's
But I'm
huge.
saying if you
But
look at
it's
the
like,
if you look at the
yo.
increase and then someone who puts 1,000 or like $500,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I see.
I
Because
get it.
it was
When
like-
when you throw that out there and you get rewarded from something like that, like I think the biggest one for me was the Justin Gaethje fight recently, not too long ago. I threw, which is
You were screaming at the
I
TV.
threw a lot of money that normally I don't.
How loud
usually-
were you screaming at the
and
TV?
I because he wasn't a favorite, and he literally, and I also bet like it was just I bet the TKO, I bet the round, and it was just like probably the biggest one I ever had, and I was literally on fucking cloud nine. It was crazy.
Were you screaming?
I was
You were
screaming. I was
the whole
screaming,
night.
and I actually
think I
like,
remember
I
we watched
I couldn't
that
sleep.
fight.
I was like a kid on Christmas. I was like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it, dude. It was
Checking
amazing.
the account.
It was
You're
fucking
like,
amazing, dude. And it's not even legal to gamble online here unless you're at a casino.
No, it's not.
I had to send it to somebody else.
Damn.
Well, you can use a VPN.
Yes, but
can use a
VPN
VPN,
is
but-
still hard.
Well,
Right?
VPN. The problem with VPN is, what if you win big? Then how are you gonna? That's where it
Yeah,
gets
so
dicey.
you have
The
you
money part is where
buddy
it gets
do it
dicey. Yeah.
in a different state.
So I just like fuck that. I'm just gonna send it to somebody else.
That's how it's done. Did you hear about that guy that's in jail that sent his bets and winnings, and they all hit?
Oh, you were talking about this actually. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send this video to you. This guy's in jail, and he's been really good at betting lately. He tells his buddies, lay this down, lay this down. He's paid his own bail and like everything to get out of jail with betting.
What?
I'll send this video to you. You're gonna love it,
you're
dude.
telling me
And,
about
I need this
That's-
guy's number.
he's getting hired now by people. Like he's like.
I thought you were about
yeah.
to say because there's a story of this guy who worked. He was a programmer. He worked for the lottery.
Oh,
and
I've
he was
heard
able to
that
get
one,
away with
yeah,
it
yeah.
for like over 10 years of like.
Well, it's the same
siph-
as the McDonald's thing,
siphoning
right?
money.
You know the McDonald's Monopoly thing? Have you watched the documentary on that?
I never played that
Ooh.
bullshit game.
Okay, but
You
the
should've.
story behind it,
Like
so
I played Monopoly, not the McDonald's Monopoly.
the McDonald's Monopoly, they basically rigged it so that everyone in the family, when they showed up to a specific spot, got the cards that they needed, so that the only ones in the
sure.
family were winning the ones that were.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the winning cards were
My
never
parents
existed.
were playing that religiously back in the day.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they're
no,
idiots.
so no one ever won. It was solely the family that was involved with
straight
McDonald's.
Up, no one ever won like the
McDonald's.
McDonald's Monopoly
No one
ever to this day.
besides the family members.
Besides
they
the
had the
cheating,
winning
no
ones.
one has won.
I don't think so.
Really?
I haven't finished.
Maybe,
the doc.
like,
It's
you
all
never
minor
play
ones.
games like that.
Also, that makes me think about. You remember, like when we were like super young, like like elementary, like middle school, when they would do like the Go-Gurt like
Danimals.
raffles?
Yes.
Who
Go-Gurt.
won that cruise?
Who
With
got
Zack
who
and
got the
Cody?
Sweet Life and Zack
Yeah,
and Cody?
That's
won
what
it?
the Danimals.
Who
Yes.
got it?
I need
Who
answers.
got it?
Hey, wait.
If
I
it was
ate
you,
about 50
Dylan
strawberry
and Cole
figs.
Sprouse, reach out to us right now.
Speaking of Zach and Cody, today is the day that their
Italian
Italian
yeah,
restaurant
the
opens
restaurant.
up.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
They got their
I've
reservation.
been seeing memes about that all
November
day today.
16th,
Yeah.
2023. They
But like
Yeah.
straight up though, who won that Danimals raffle,
Fucking nobody.
dude?
That was Disney
it's
getting
the
us
same
to
with
buy
that.
No,
more
it was
for
Danimals
Danimals.
giving them their fucking check.
You
is what
guys
it
remember
was.
that fucking bikini thing on Instagram where it was like repost this?
Helena
and, like,
has one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She was one of the winners.
She
but
got
like,
one.
I feel like I never heard anyone until just like when you told me a
When I
couple
told
months
you,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still
But, like,
skeptical.
She has one. I've seen it.
It's cheap.
Yeah, it's not a well-made bikini. It lasted one trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's in the
I heard
trash.
that the Dylan and Cole Sprouse brothers, they were going to pitch. They pitched to Disney that they were going to finish out the season with going back to the Tipton Hotel, and that there was going to be a young kid that they rose up, and that they were gonna. One was going to go to college, obviously.
Dylan, I think Dylan's
Which one's the smarter one?
It was
Dylan.
Cody.
no,
Cody, Zach, and
Whoever
Cody.
Cody.
Cody was
like
going to go
that.
to college. Zach was going to go work at a car place and a car
Sounds about right.
dealership. And then
Sounds right.
Disney laughed in their face and was like, bye.
Well, for how much
Fired
money
them.
Sweet Life and Zach and Cody made him, I feel
Yeah.
like they wouldn't laugh. But
Yeah.
Well, they got Sweet Life on deck too.
Sweet Life on deck, they had
That's
to finish
right,
out because
yeah.
of contract. And so they
Did
finished
they not
out.
wanna do it?
They didn't want. They thought it was. They already knew the
It
show
was
was done.
stupid.
They were smart. They
No,
they were
I mean,
ahead of like
yeah. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was the show. The Sweet Life on Deck, I feel like was just kind of like, I'm watching this just for the nostalgia.
Well, it's like your mom
almost.
got a new job. Cool.
The mom was not even there.
I mean, still two childhood goats though. That's like Macaulay Culkin. Even though
Yeah.
nothing ever surpassed Home Alone. But like I think was it Good Brothers or something like that he was in. He did like 4 movies in like 2
Well, he's
years.
in that new show now, the mystery murder
Macaulay
one.
Culkin.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
yeah,
Cole
yeah.
Sprouse. Cole Sprouse.
Oh.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Macaulay, I'm like, yeah,
was
he's
like,
in
yeah.
something. But
Also-
also, well,
well,
there's
there's
no-
something.
Cole Sprouse is in that
They've
new,
been
like,
doing a
murder
couple. Like,
mystery.
there's like a movie with Zach. I don't know if that's Dylan.
It's
or
actually his
Cole.
first in a while. No, it's the opposite. So
Right.
Well, one of them was in
it's-
Black
it's-
Mirror and
no,
then
it's-
did did a
I
bunch of
believe it's
shit.
Zach.
Riverdale.
Riverbend. No,
Riverdale.
Oh, Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying what was
was-
it Cole? It was
That's
Cole.
the smart
No,
one.
that-
The smart one.
Cole
I
is the
thought-
smart one, right?
Yeah.
But okay.
Aren't they both smart?
They're both smart.
twins.
They're both smart.
Well,
We're
no,
talking
but okay,
about
like
in
there was
Oh,
there was
Sweet Life.
Cody and there was Zach.
Can you imagine
Cody
being that
was-
actor though that took on the
Was
dumb
Cody
role?
Dylan or was Cody Cole?
I don't know. I can text him and ask.
Dylan and Cole
Yeah,
Yeah, will
Sprouse?
you like-
yeah.
But yeah, there was like a new movie with one of the two, and
I think
called,
it's the opposite.
I
I think it's the boy that's been away for a while.
I can't tell them apart.
Dylan
Yeah,
is, or the one that went to college is smarter. The skinnier
Yeah,
one,
so
and the
Dylan-
thicker one is the one he's been out
It's
of
husky,
acting.
husky.
Husky.
They've also been. They were
That's the term.
13.
Yeah.
Like now they're probably look the same.
The haircuts are a lot
they look
different. But well, Cole dyed his hair like black for a while.
That was for
I
Riverdale.
sound like a fangirl. I'm like, actually, Cole.
no, that was for
yeah,
Riverdale.
comments.
That was for
comments
Riverdale.
if you know who Zach and Cody were,
Who's the
to
different?
Cole and Dylan? Because I have no fucking clue.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
remember.
do my research.
I could tell the difference though, like when they were younger, especially.
Well, yeah, when they were younger, but like
Well,
now
yeah,
it's
one
like,
had
what the
20
fuck, dude?
pounds less. They
Not
fed
20,
Don't weight
15.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
don't
fat shaming.
Fat shaming.
They definitely fed one.
I think that. Well, I think as much as they were twins, that it's still people still
Well, no,
develop
with,
in their
with-
individual
with
way. so
twins,
That
you-
was
you-
Ashley
no, but there's still like
Tisdale's
very
leading
like very small
breakout
details
role.
of their face or just
true.
like body
Yeah, I
structure
agree,
that you
I
can
agree.
like
And
tell apart.
Wong.
I agree.
Because I was friends
what
with
was Tipton or
With
no.
Dylan.
Yeah.
well,
That's
yeah,
her
with
name in the show.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
What's her
No,
real
but
name?
when I was in elementary school, like I had like two homies that were
Tipton.
twins,
That's- you
Sam
got it.
and Luke. I don't remember their fucking last
Were
name.
they twins?
Are you talking
Yeah, they
about
were
the
twins.
redheads?
But you
Look,
could, no,
Michael,
no, no, no. It was like
twins.
back in Issaquah,
Oh,
when I-
okay.
like before Maple Valley. But like you could tell them apart. At least like if you knew them, like you could tell them apart. Like it was weird. One was skinnier.
You know, do you
That might
remember
be just like a
the-
normal thing.
Do you remember the Wong twins?
Maybe we might
No.
not figure this out.
There were two Asian twins at the high school. They were 2 grades above us.
Wong
Oh,
twins?
Haley and Allie, right? or Allie.
Ali Wong is a very
Huang.
popular actress and comedian.
Not the
Yes.
same one.
No,
I
not.
figured it's not.
It's
but,
not
yeah.
Ali Wong. It's Ali Huang.
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 And
A Jewish beginning, Asian end.
I
Chaim.
Yeah, Jewish beginning.
No, but
Asian
yeah,
end.
I know who you're talking. They were a year above us, I think.
2 years
Yeah,
above us.
2 years. Yeah. They were
Anyways,
above us.
I always made the joke of like, oh, I got the Huang one.
Growing up, I had a crush on
The
two.
Long one.
I had a crush on 2 twins, or not 2 twins, twins.
Well, you did, because if
Yeah,
you
I
liked
mean-
one,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't tell the difference between them. So I mean,
did you draw a black line on their forearm?
Well,
I know you.
well, what Jack and I discovered is, regardless of twins, everyone has a different butthole.
Oh,
Butthole-
that's
butthole
right.
fingerprints.
It's like
Butthole fingerprints.
there's an
Wow,
artist,
it's
right?
The same skin, right?
Yeah,
There's an
it's-
artist that would like make molds.
Yeah,
of
he'd
their
make bowls with buttholes, and everyone. If you didn't know, your butthole, it's like a tree. When a tree falls, you count the rings. It's kind of like that. Like it's kind of like that.
How many wrinkles do you
There's
have?
35 to
folds.
37
Yeah.
folds,
Folds.
right?
Yeah,
but they're all
it
different.
sounds fucking nuts, but it's fucking true. I swear to God, look it up.
Dude, no,
Just
okay.
like our fingerprints.
Like I told you,
it's the
bro, I've
same
been
thing.
listening back to the early episodes, and that was
Forensics.
one of them.
Yeah, butthole fingerprints.
Check her
And-
butthole.
And we were absolutely mind blown that was a
Who
thing.
was at this scene? Check their hole.
Check their
Okay,
butthole.
so speaking about your the early episodes, what's been your favorite memory
It was-
from the 130 something episodes that you guys have now?
He has many
put
years
out?
of experience, so he's.
It was
What's been
definitely-
like 2 years of the podcast, right?
Now that I think about it, it is definitely the beginning because we recorded with a webcam. It was shitty quality. The audio was shit. The audio was actually decent to start, but like it was
Would you
all
say it was a
abysmal equipment.
Butthole.
It was all terrible shit. And as much as you have a high quality webcam, regardless of how good it is, it's going to be dog shit every single time. So anyone out there, if you try to do a podcast with your friends, you're going, oh, I have a 4K webcam. It's going to look like shit. It doesn't matter what the fucking webcam can do. It's going to look like shit every
It's a
single
webcam.
time. Every
It's
single
a
time.
webcam.
Every single time you do it,
video
it's going to look
camera.
like shit. No matter what setting you tweak, no matter what YouTube clip you look up, it's not going to work. But I will say, now that I think about it, I would say it was the early episodes. But one specifically was probably when we were doing the episode, and it was definitely one of the early ones because we were at the bar, and I was talking about how the German language is so menacing. Like when you listen back on Adolf Hitler's speeches or something like that, and I was giving like a example.
Nine.
I was like, "Look, what's the Chaim?" And I flipped my
Hey,
beer
that sounded
over,
real, bro.
and
Take
it
it easy.
spilled.
He was channeling
It
all of
is.
it.
And it spilled all over the fucking equipment everywhere, and we had to end the episode. That was probably my favorite one.
That
'cause
was Hitler coming back and being like,
that was
"Bitch,
fucking
please."
hilarious. That was probably my favorite one specifically. If I
Yeah,
thought
Adolf
of others,
coming back, do not.
Yeah.
if I thought of others, there's probably more, but that's one of them. But in general, it's definitely the beginning episodes when the quality was shit and everything was shit because it was
The
just
content
so-
was fire.
It was just like
Raw.
And now most of the time we don't plan anything. We just kind of go, and that's great.
But everything was just so
But
fresh
it,
and
it was so
raw
fresh,
and-
and we hadn't put anything out, and everything was just so open for whatever we wanted to make it. And so I think some of that's a mental thing. It's like, oh, we haven't
Yeah.
put anything out, so we can make this whatever. And that's probably why. That was like if you ask any great performer or athlete, like, oh, the greatest memory of your career, it's always, oh, when I was in high school, this championship game. Oh, when I was first starting out, it's always something like that. So I think that reflection always gives you
So you're a great.
the one
athlete.
thing is always it's never in the now or the craziest things generally that you've done. It's always
Yeah.
something
It's the
you did
garage
when you
setup.
started. It's always
the
that.
glory days.
Like
Yeah.
like for Jeff Bezos, it's when I was in the garage and I
I
just
wish
started
someone
Amazon.
would tell us when the glory days were so we could enjoy them.
Right now,
Right
baby.
now,
Bernard.
Right now, baby.
And
Yeah.
speaking of the early
We're living in our
beginnings
glory
of
days.
ATLT, how did it all start?
Yeah.
That all began in middle school, actually, because Jack was a grade below me. And so we sat at the same lunch table every single day. And then in high school, translated to the same fucking thing. And we would all just talk about just absolutely raunchy, inappropriate, terrible stories. But it was funny at the time because
As
we're
young
fucking
boys
8th
do.
grade. As young boys do. And so in
Turned
high
into
school, when
a-
we all got phones, we all pretty much had iPhones when we first got phones. So when the group message became a thing, we had a group message called around the lunch table. And so that was the epitome of what everything would be for our group message. It was always around the lunch table, and then when fantasy football season came around, it was the fantasy group, and then around lunch table fantasy, and then we started another one, ATLT Sports for fantasy. But it was always to this day I have the same group message on my phone. It's the same one, same people since
15
I was
years
like
later.
15 years old. So, and then when COVID hit, we're all in the house, and it was great because I'm playing video games. I could chill, which is always what I love to do. And then I floated the idea of let's start a podcast, and then it kind of just stuck, and we kind of just ran with it. And then here we are, 130 fucking weeks later.
Episodes later.
Yeah.
Years later.
Making an impact.
Yeah.
So now that it's been I want to say 2 years of podcasting,
Yeah.
what have been your
Has it been 2
successes?
years? I feel
What
like
have
it's
been
3
your
now.
failures?
Let
like
him talk.
3 years now. Sorry.
It's not 3.
3 years?
Have we been?
I thought it was
we've
like
been
2
friends.
and 3
We've been
quarters.
friends for 2 years now plus.
It's close to 3. But I don't
we
know.
I've
met-
known
okay.
you for 2 at
Let
least.
me-
Yeah.
Let me pull up.
Oh.
Look at the
I
first
bet
day.
you
I
could
thought-
go.
I thought it's been
I
like-
bet you could go there and see the date.
No,
I thought it was
tells you
it was
when
in
it's
like
re-
May of
released,
2020.
right?
You were already doing it before we became friends, and you guys were already solidified.
I thought it was like in May or
What
something, or
is it?
March.
We're gonna
Because
find
then
out.
at that time this year it'll be 3 years, but I don't think it's 3 years yet.
Okay, so release date of episode 1 of Around the Lunch Table, November 19th, 2020.
3 days.
That's kind of
20?
wild. Whoa,
3
that's
fucking
kinda
days.
wild.
Till 3 years.
In 3 days it'll be 3
Yeah,
years.
in 3 days.
Okay,
it's
so
your
wait,
fucking
should we do
anniversary.
something this weekend, like to party it
Dude,
out?
I have nothing planned this weekend.
What are you doing
Dude,
Saturday?
what?
Saturday.
Saturday.
We're all hanging
Saturday.
out.
Our girls are. My
Oh,
girl's
live
busy.
streaming, sorry.
My
All the
girl's
girls
busy.
are gone, so we're hanging out.
And I haven't
Okay,
made.
hey, listen. This is hot off the press right now.
Celebrate.
And
Hot off the
our
press.
girlfriends
Hot
have
off the
our
press.
girlfriends have yet to hear about it, but
We
it's
make
okay.
it. We make it a
They
content
will.
day too.
They
we
will.
make
In
it
4 weeks.
I'm gonna say
it's a content day.
I
too.
didn't even realize that. I'm so glad you pulled that up. I didn't even know.
Content day
3
as well.
days.
Bring the
it
cameras.
will be 3-year
There we go.
anniversary for Around the Lunch Table podcast.
What
Go
the
check
fuck?
them out.
You heard it
Holy
here
crap.
You heard
after
it here,
3
baby.
years.
That's crazy.
That's
3
nuts.
fucking
years.
awesome.
And the crazy thing is, I think
Let me
aside
be the
from
first to congratulate you. By
aside,
the way.
oh thank you. Aside from like,
So
I think there was only 2 or 3
I
times.
paid for it.
There was only 2 or 3 times we actually took a break, and one of them was when we were moving, and one of them was when we had like back-to-back events and weddings, and we were gone for holidays.
And you
But
were
like,
squeezing
fair.
them.
there
That's
was
fair.
only, I think, in the beginning,
them out.
I think, and that's the biggest thing. I think if anyone wants to start a podcast, is the number one thing is consistency.
Also,
You're not
get
gonna-
ahead.
You are
Get
not.
ahead.
You are not going to see shit for views, downloads. No one gives a fuck. No one's going to give.
Even
a
the
fuck.
first year.
No one's gonna know. No one's gonna care, and you're not gonna get anything. And so you start seeing that you do 10 or 11 weeks, and you're like, okay, no one's watching this. And guess what? No one's gonna. So you have to just keep doing it. Consistency is probably the number one thing. I think I've had a couple friends like, dude, your guys' podcast looks great. I think I'm gonna start one. And then after, I think
Yep.
Jack
2
looked at
episodes,
the
like-
statistics. Like 80% of them stop
3.
after like
3
or
to
4.
5
Well, I
episodes.
think-
Yeah.
I
They
think
all
I-
stop at a few episodes.
I was talking to Jack, and he said if you make it past 15, that's the magic number where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's like a consistent.
It's a
way.
show.
Where's
15
the
It's
magic?
a show, baby.
15
For
number.
me, it was 17. It felt like a second nature kind of, and that could have just been a mental thing. But
At that time too, I feel like you're interested in like, okay, what are we gonna do else to push this? Are we gonna put a little bit of ads together? Okay, let's see what that does.
Right.
And then when you push those little things in, then now we push our highlights, and now we're getting a pinch more on our
On
social.
all sides.
By the
Yeah.
way, we have merch coming out.
We have
Merch!
a boy band shirt.
We have
Yes.
boy band shirts, boy band hoodies. coming out soon. So stay tuned
Do
for
I
those.
wait? Can I pre-order?
Oh, yeah.
They're already out,
They're
bro.
already out, baby.
I want one.
We got Army
Is it
Green
live?
boy band.
Is it live?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
live.
up and live.
Yeah.
baby.
So
I
get
fixed it.
your
Let me guess the
weirdly
price.
artistic
Let me guess the price.
boy band.
Let me guess the
hoodies.
price. I'm gonna guess
Yes.
the price.
It's
of it.
underneath 50.
$65.
You're pretty close.
60.
Yeah, it's $60.
Oh, I
60.
fucking knew it.
They're
that's
sweaters. They're
average for
sweaters,
hoodies.
okay?
That's
Gotta make-
average
gotta make
merch
sure
for
those-
hoodies.
Gotta
Okay,
make sure those
So
margins
they're
are good.
champion branded
Look at the
sweaters.
margins.
You see this thickness? This is what you're looking
It's
at
on
right
the
here.
Champion
This is
brand,
all
bro.
champion brand. You're gonna
Oh,
have some
Champion
nice
is great.
quality.
Champion
Do you
is
see
quality
this?
stuff.
Champion
Husband
is great.
material.
Husband
Champion is
material.
great. The black tie-dye, you can't go wrong with. That's a great
But
look.
they're not the black tie-dyes. They're Army
It's just
green
the same
now.
sweatshirt. Yeah.
Army green, black,
That's not tie-dye?
gray, and
That is
tan.
tie-dye.
This one.
The boy
The,
band.
Oh,
the
ones,
boy
but-
band
yeah.
merch.
The boy
for
band
Weirdly
will be in the
Artistic.
same similar style of the same sweater.
What
Figured
so
that'd
what
be a
when
good-
you say boy band, what the fuck does that mean?
It's just
It
a
means we
really,
look sexy on the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
Like we look
So
very
It's
sexy.
something you're gonna buy at the
We- we-
concert.
we
Well,
put
so like it looks like
together-
an NSYNC album cover or
It
something?
looks
so like
Exactly,
if you
yeah.
showed up to
That's-
our podcast show live,
You'd have
this
your
is the
tour dates
sweatshirt
on the
you would
bottom.
buy.
It has our tour dates kind
But
of. Yeah.
It's
kinda
it's
See, I'm
thing.
getting
it's
two
it's-
different things here.
It's the picture, right? It gives the boy band vibe, so that's why we're calling it. The
We got our
Wait,
sexy
hold on.
faces on there, and then we have some
Yeah, show 'em.
wording
Show
and
'em.
I
like
got it. I
tour
got
dates
it. It's on
almost in a
social
sense.
media.
Oh my, that's huge.
Okay, we need to be more consistent about the plugging with the merch.
Yeah, we
But-
do. Yeah, we do. What's the next question? Go, 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 go.
We already did the favorite. Did we do favorite thing on the podcast? We said his early days.
Well, we got history.
That's actually pretty funny.
Thank you. Boy band.
Right?
Jordan
right?
looks like a future pedophile. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Hide your wife and hide your children.
Hide your kids.
That's bad. That's bad.
sorry.
That's hilarious.
But Z, so
Yeah.
obviously
Let's
you
go
and
back
Jack
up, my
kind of
bad.
go off the dome when it comes to like your podcast.
Yeah,
but,
we
like,
don't
where do you
plan
guys
shit.
find your inspiration? Where do you find your inspo?
Every day.
Inspo.
Your muse. What gets you shit talking?
You
or
know,
just bullshitting?
I don't think it's anything specific.
Is it the beer?
It's never one thing.
Is
And
it
as
the
much
alcohol?
As much as alcohol, I'm not kidding you. This is not a joke. As much as I do think that partying and doing mind-altering things kind of promotes creative thinking and new ideas, as much as I do believe that, which is 100% true because a lot of our episodes, especially, I would say about 85% of them were fucking hammered. And I think that kind of promotes extra talking, extra things that you think of. But sometimes if you depend only on that, all it does is just make you spew more words, and that doesn't always translate into a better episode or into better content.
No, you're saying a lot of words, but you're not really saying.
Yeah,
much.
exactly that. And I think that as
It's
much
like
as
spaghetti with no sauce.
much as-
you know?
Yeah,
I think it's the
your-
ability that if you like doing that, it's to harness that because it's like the uppity. It's like to compare it. It's like the uppity energy of feeling buzzed, but also being able to be self-aware. Okay, I'm kind of rambling. I'm just doing this because I'm fucked
It's
up.
more of like
Well,
had
no,
to
it's-
be there.
It's kind of like what
Yeah.
you said before, where it's like if you have a good idea for a podcast, it's like it's kind of easy, but like if
Right.
you're if you don't have a good product, you're just saying more
and
words.
I
to,
think also like when people want to start one, the thing that they think is like, oh, like we have funny conversations, so we'll start a podcast, and then they do it, and then it never translates on the mic as it does when they're in the car with their buddy. So that separation is gonna be there, especially in the beginning, and it's gonna be there, and then it eventually breaks when you kind of do it a bunch of times like anything. If you go to the gym 5 times, your body's not going to change for shit. If you go 10 times, it's not going to change for shit. At the 15th, 16th, when you get in those higher ones, you start to see some definition, you start to see some change. You never see change in the beginning of anything. I mean,
No.
I don't care if
any skill
any
at
skill,
all.
anything. Like, you know, like what is that thing that
Even a
21 days
Even a
creates a
band.
habit.
what is that thing Bruce Lee said? He's like, I don't fear the man
Be
who has
water.
practiced 10,000 times. I fear the man who has tried the same kick 10,000 times. It's like you have to
Ooh.
try, you have to keep doing it over and over. And I think that's
The
anything.
art of 1,000 hours.
Well,
What,
it's
what,
like,
what,
don't
what does
do it
any
in 10
what does
hours.
anybody tell
10,000
you that's
hours.
successful?
10,000
What does
hours.
anybody
Don't
tell you?
do it
Oh, I
until
kept
you
doing
get
it.
it
I
right.
didn't quit.
Do it
and as
until you
much
can't get
as
it
much as
wrong.
it sounds cliche, that's it. You have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think what is it? I think Joe Rogan. I think he did like hundreds of episodes before he saw any viewership. It's like, it doesn't matter who you fucking are. You just have to keep doing it. It's consistency. Consistency is the name of the game for anything to get some footing under
Systems
you.
over goals.
Right. Right.
Atomic
Have,
habits.
have a good system in place.
Well, you
And-
can't build a roof unless you have pillars, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, I think we're all reading it or have read it before. Atomic Habits. If you focus
Yeah.
on the system and having a good system, the success kind of comes with it. If you focus on the success, you fall to the height of your systems. Which
Yeah.
you know, if it's not a good system, then it's you're
Yeah.
just not gonna have a good product.
But like inspiration wise, I can't speak to what it is specifically, but I think a good analogy for other people to understand is probably like, for example, like when a good music artist is just starting, they replicate and make their own version of what they heard of their favorites. So I think all the inspiration is like all of the stand-ups that I've watched, all of the Family Guys, all of the American Dads, all of the Seth MacFarlane interviews, all the things I've watched, everything that has translated is my own version of that. It's all that information spewed into one bowl of thoughts.
Speaking of Seth
That's
MacFarlane, are
what
you
it
a
is.
fan of his music?
I like it.
Dude, his Christmas album?
I like Seth
It's
MacFarlane.
yo,
Did you
he
know
has music out?
What?
Did you
Bro,
know?
he's an amazing
I'm listening on
jazz
my way
artist.
home
No
tonight.
shot.
Have you
He's
guys ever
actually-
heard? Have you guys ever heard RDJ's album?
No.
Dude,
Robert
yes,
Downey?
Robert Downey is
Straight up. No,
amazing.
what?
Jr.
Yeah.
Before he was Iron Man, before he
Yeah,
had anything
before
going.
he got big.
This was like when
Before he
was
went to
in
jail?
and shit.
No,
Like,
he's
before
back.
He
Was in
shortly
jail.
after, but
You know he's back. So his son has a band.
you know he's back.
He's back in jail.
His no,
Just joking.
not in jail,
funny
in
now.
music,
I'm kidding,
in
I'm
music.
kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
He's back in music. So his son has a band that he's been promoting, and then he's like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna come back with an album. So he's
He
working
came
on it.
back.
Yeah, but no, I'm not kidding you. If you heard it, you would be like, no fucking way. That's
Seth
Robert Downey
MacFarlane?
Jr. No,
Second
Or-
MacFarlane and
Right,
RDJ.
it's both of them, right?
Both of them.
Yo, send me
both of them.
links.
Well,
Send
Seth
me links.
MacFarlane-
If I look up Robert Downey Jr. on Apple Music,
It'll
on
come
my
up.
way home.
I mean,
It'll
have you,
come up.
I mean, with
It's a Christmas
the voice,
album?
The
No,
voice
no,
talent
Seth
of
MacFarlane is.
No, okay, but okay, Seth MacFarlane, voice talented wise, I mean, he does like half the voices on fucking.
I mean, his
Family
normal
Guy.
voice is basically Brian.
Yeah,
Like,
Brian,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
hear him speak, you can just
It's Brian.
you can
yeah.
okay, you can actually if you actually hear him talk normally, not only does it sound like Brian, but like you can hear how he would really be a good singer. And I think I actually thought of that at one point in time. Like,
Well, okay,
like, I feel like he'd be a
his
good
That
singer.
makes
Frank
sense.
Sinatra
No, because he
type
does
guy.
the Frank Sinatra Jr.
Yes, he
episodes,
does.
right,
Yeah.
where he's singing.
Not to
He
mention he
plays
could
Frank
twist his
Sinatra
voice
and
in so
All
many
in the
voices.
throat and in the
That's
mouth.
interesting. Okay.
All in the
I
throat
love
and
when
the
he
mouth.
makes Joe sing.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
the
No,
voice
he's-
actor for
he's,
Joe
like,
cannot
deep,
sing,
like, down
and
here.
it's just so funny
Tone
when he
deaf,
has.
yeah. Tone deaf. But,
It's
I mean,
hard
Seth
to make
MacFarlane-
yourself go tone deaf when you do know tones and tunes like
No, that's
sounds. That's
okay.
the
I'm
crazy
gonna listen
part,
to Seth
which is
MacFarlane
cool.
and
I love Seth
Robert
MacFarlane,
Downey.
dude. I really love
Okay.
him. I also love all the interviews Seth MacFarlane's done when he gives insight as to how he came up with the voices for a lot of the characters. Like, did you guys know how he came up with the voice for Quagmire?
No.
Like,
No.
how he came up with the voice for Quagmire is when he was a little kid, his dad would give him a bunch of like recordings and like tapes of like these things from the 1940s and 50s. And in that time, I'm sure anyone's watched an old Red Sox game highlight. Oh, number 4 scores around there. Oh, here comes old Curly. And they all have
That's exactly
they all
what it-
have that
yeah.
upper. And apparent in that time, where the reason
Jordan
all,
knows
all
why.
of
It's
them,
because of the mic.
all of them, yeah, they
Yeah,
were more
aluminum.
sensitive to the mid-range.
Yeah.
Is the reason why, and so that's how he got the inspiration for Quagmire. Is like 'cause he would hear like a commercial that came on. Oh, Autobahn spark plugs, the only spark plugs for you, and that's how he kind of like made the voice for Quagmire. And so like when you hear him talk about his creative process, it's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Damn, that's actually like pretty interesting.
So basically, Quagmire's voice
He's
came
super
from
technical.
a 1940s, 1950s
like
admin.
baseball, like,
Admin,
broadcaster,
basically. Yeah,
basically.
admin/baseball caster.
That's
because
So
fucking
Seth
wild.
MacFarlane is super technical.
yeah.
No,
More
and I
than
mean,
you
like,
think.
I feel like, I've always had the opinion that he's very talented based on the fact that he writes Family Guy,
Yeah.
does so many of the voice acting
And
for it already.
he's crazy talented. I mean, and if you think about this also, because when you're doing animation, like you're doing table reads, and a lot of those characters are in the same scene together.
Yeah.
So he would actually
He's
have
switching
to He would have to.
voices.
He would have to be in the same scene, switching from Quagmire, switching to Peter, switching to Brian. He'd be switching between 3 or 4 voices,
That's
maybe even
kind of
5 in a given
insane,
in a
dude.
given
A
time.
table read.
Yeah. And when he's doing a table read, he's
Yeah.
basically doing multiple voices at once,
That's wild.
which is
dude.
nuts.
Yo, Seth, you're the man.
Seth,
dude.
you're the guy.
Yeah,
You're the
which is
fucking
which is
guy.
pretty cool.
Well, it's like the same with like the South Park creators, right? Like they do like almost all of the
80%
voices.
of it.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
almost all of
Yeah.
the voices. And
Chinny
you-
chushy.
like if you like, there's another documentary about them about how they create the episodes like week to week, and the reason why they don't get a lot of different voice actors is because they're turning shit around so quick
Yeah.
that it's hard to get people to fly in and do shit. So they do a lot.
Not
of
to
the voice
mention someone
acting.
gets there and it's not what you want.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. So they
fuck.
do a lot of the voice acting themselves, and
Yeah.
like it's kind of
If
wild.
you get permission,
I was
who
listening to
cares?
this podcast about Darren Norris. If you guys know who Darren
Who's
Norris
Darren Norris?
is,
No.
he did the voice of Cosmo in Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
He was the
Oh.
janitor on Ned's Declassified,
Okay.
and he was
Oh.
also on Team America. He was the director.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Yeah,
no shit.
Okay.
So yeah, no, and like he was talking about the South Park creators and how he wanted to like be on there, but like they would be very, very tight. Whereas like no, like we kind of just do it because it's hard to get people to fly out
Yeah.
and do exactly what we want them to do, and like have it be what we want, and it's just easier for us to just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice acting, Rick and Morty, they actually get drunk for the drunk scenes.
Well, Justin Roiland isn't a part anymore, but
Yeah, not anymore. After
No.
season 6, but yeah.
no, you can tell, especially now that I've watched a few episodes of season 7. I'm used to it now, but you
I
can
haven't watched any
once you
episodes.
go from 6
No spoilers,
to 7. Once you 6 to 7, you can easily tell it's somebody else.
Yeah.
dude.
It's just an impersonator who
Was
sounds
that
a lot
his
like
buddy
Rick.
that did it with him.
No, it's a different- it's a
someone
completely different
totally
person.
different.
No, was it though? In the past, it was his buddy and him that were.
Yeah.
I thought
there
they
were like
free-
2
didn't
to
they,
4
like,
guys, right? There
free
was
Yeah,
ball-
but they would get blacked out drunk and
Yeah.
I was
fucking
gonna
do
say
it.
they
Yeah.
freeball the episode.
They would get
Yeah.
and
fucked
then
up.
they would animate around the episode.
No,
right?
they'd animate first and make the guys voice act to
Yeah,
it.
the funny part is
Yeah.
you can look on YouTube. There's videos of him getting
Yeah.
fucking trashed,
No
taking shots.
shit.
He
And
would
he's fucked up.
do-
He's like, I can't do anymore. Like, dude, we have another episode. He's like, all right, and he's downing another shot.
They
and he's
would
doing the
do
voices.
takes to the episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
would they see the mouths moving or?
Yeah, it would just play.
Yeah,
and
it would
then
just
they're
be like moving
just-
up and down. He'd be like, time it,
and
with,
then play
you know.
it to the
like
episode.
he's lip syncing and he's telling the fucking lyrics.
Oh,
basically.
That's
Marty.
kind of wild, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, I think if you're an established like voice actor, in my opinion, if you're in Hollywood, just because if you're on a show
Hollywood's a
like
shit
Family
show,
Guy or American Dad, but it's an established show, you're not trying to start one, because you're working a couple hours a week. Like I feel like that kind of be the shit. Like especially if you're someone who's respected and who people want.
Oh yeah.
Like
Especially
that
like
must
Joe, dude. That guy's voice is everywhere.
be yeah, insurance commercials,
Yeah.
infomercials,
Oh, yeah,
fucking
Joe's
everywhere.
voice.
dude.
Affleck.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
like the EA
Affleck.
Sports guy, but like the
Not
comedy
Affleck.
version of
He's
him.
he's the
Affleck.
dumbed
Yeah.
down version.
Yeah, yeah. So and then you get something like that, and then you're collecting residual checks. You don't have to work again. So it's like,
It's kind of dope.
This is
Fuck,
easy.
dude.
yeah.
If they still do residual now.
They do.
I mean,
do?
for that type of
Yeah.
shit, especially, they have to.
They
it-
have
it-
to
it-
for
I mean, it depends on the
contract
contract, but
actors.
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
now, like
Yeah.
Well, if you're like a main character, I feel like they have to because then you have like
shit's been,
merchandising
shit's
and
been
all this
updated
shit.
as
I
of
mean,
recent. As
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Family
over
Guy has Mila
strikes.
Kunis, and she's freaking huge.
Wealthy.
Yeah.
Huge.
I love when they make that joke about because there was like a different voice actress for Meg in the early seasons.
Yeah, the first 2
And-
seasons.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I remember there was like there's an episode
It's
when
not
Stewie and
Mila.
Brian go back in time, and it's like the original voice
Yeah,
actress.
It's
She's
the
like,
time
wow,
travel episode.
Meg sounds like she's about to give up a huge opportunity.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
they
actually
They
hilarious.
make a joke about it. I
And
thought
they
it was
did,
hilarious.
and that chick is probably kicking herself now.
Yeah.
yeah, because
after,
yeah, like,
after
that was the-
100,000 seasons.
That was the time travel
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
when they have the
Once
the-
they realize Family Guy's next
no,
Simpsons.
we're from the
basically.
further future.
Yeah, exactly.
dude,
It's
so
insane.
funny. But
okay, questions. Let's go into the Jedi stuff. We skipped all
Yeah.
the others.
well, I was gonna say last question.
Okay.
If you had any advice for your
Oh, that's a good question.
past self starting this podcast, or for
anyone, that
anyone
wants to.
out there that wants to start their own podcast, what is the biggest or two small advices that add up to one big advice would you give them?
Little whipped cream.
What's your
Beer.
whipped cream on top?
Oh.
What's your secret
It would
sauce?
probably be
Szechuan sauce.
It would probably be because everyone, especially if you're trying to do one, you have other things going on in your life. You get tired, you get this and that. If you don't feel it, don't do it, because you're as hard as you try. Like if you're not feeling like doing an episode, and when I say not feeling like you're doing it, like you just don't have. You can feel tired and still make something good and great,
Make
like
it
we have.
authentic.
And I'm not saying like
It's kind of like a
Like,
fart. If
I'm
you
not
force it out, it's usually shit.
Mine are
Yes.
pretty good though.
I'm saying aside from when it just gets to the physical, I don't want to do it. I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about the mental. When you're just drained and you don't have it, don't force it, because when you force it, it's not going to be what you want it to be, regardless of how hard you try, regardless of how much you drink. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change it. So I would say, and I'm not saying when you're physically tired, like, oh, I had a hard day. You can have a hard day and then start shooting it with whoever you're doing the podcast with, and then the energy kind of just finds itself. I'm talking when mentally you're just checked out, it's not going to work, and you know for a fact, like, I cannot provide a good entertainment thing, which, as Nick brought up, which is great, get ahead. That's the second part. Get ahead. Most people record episodes and do it week by week. Some people do it bi-weekly. Do one, and if it goes
a month
great,
ahead,
do
man.
another one. And if you don't want to do another one,
Be
a
a month
couple days
ahead.
later or over the weekend, do another one. Because when it comes around and when you have an unexpectedly shit day or an emergency or whatever, you're not going to want to do one. And if you try to do one then it's going to be dog shit, and you're going to fucking hate it. And you're going to hate that you have to put it out, but you have to put out something. And so I would say that is the two things. If you're not feeling it, don't do it, because it's not going to be what you want it to be.
But when you are, get ahead.
But when you are feeling it and it's going great, do another one, or give it some time and do another one that same week or weekend. So then you're one ahead in case that happens.
Well, like I said
That's-
earlier, like there's been weeks when your podcast, you've been at weddings or you've been just
Yeah.
like wrapped up in life. Like life happens, right?
Yeah.
Get ahead.
Yeah. There's been plenty of
That's-
times.
that's what
Actually,
we do.
Probably we should have skipped way more than we did, but we didn't. There was a few that we completely forced, that we literally didn't want to do it, but we knew we had to. And then again, some people might have found it pretty funny, but in our opinion, when you're looking at your own work, you're always your own worst self-critic.
Yep.
So you can just feel, and I can hear when we forced it, just because I know our tones and I know when
Yeah.
I'm not feeling something. So I would say try to avoid that. And if you get a week ahead, that completely annihilates that whole train
You
of
have
thought.
a week to recoup.
So
right?
yeah, exactly. So
probably
you can
like
take a week,
3
and
to
then
4
you could
weeks
take a
ahead.
week off, and you can reassess. And so that would probably be it. Aside from, if you're not outspoken, have more specific bullet points planned out. Not just bullet points, but if you're not as outspoken or quick on your feet, specific bullet points, so then you know where you're to go from.
Plan it out.
So that's
I
it.
like that. I like that.
Love it.
Pussies.
Love it.
Jedi
So,
talk. Let's go.
Well, first question. You've mentioned Family Guy. You've mentioned American Dad. What's your favorite show or movie?
Oh yeah, that's
My
right.
favorite show is pretty easy. It's The Sopranos.
I called
The-
this.
Ugh.
yeah, I saw
Called
that
it.
coming.
Big
I saw that
Sopranos.
coming.
And it's close between that and Entourage, but where it gets dicey,
Pretty much
is-
the same thing.
Where it gets dicey is because then when you get the genres, because you have two different trains of thought there. But it's easily The Sopranos and
I would say it's best TV
Entourage.
ever made.
I would say it is 100%.
I'm not disagreeing with
I
you.
mean,
It's best TV ever made.
Because in my opinion, and some people watch Sopranos and be like, oh, this is shit, because it's not their thing, and that's
Wrong.
cool. I mean, well, I think the accolades for that show tells different,
Yeah.
but that's neither here nor there.
Why don't you check the
But
scoreboard, homegirl?
I will say, I mean, it's just a masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece. I mean,
You
from
feel-
the funny parts, from the funny little subtle jokes.
Pulling me back in.
I mean, not to mention not to mention the cast. I mean, the guy who plays Paulie, he was a real fucking gangster in real life. The dude has had a crazy
back,
fucking
homie.
life.
Yeah.
If you ever looked up
Yeah.
the guy from, if you like The Sopranos, look up the guy who plays Paulie. The dude has had a fucking crazy life. Not to mention, of course, if you like The Sopranos, you like Goodfellas, which movies,
that's
Goodfellas.
one of, okay,
There it
I
is.
love
There
Goodfellas.
it is.
Goodfellas is my movie.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is my movie.
Joe
And-
Pesci.
and
Ray Liotta.
Psycho.
Yeah, and it's
Beautiful.
funny how they continue to
Fucking
use these
beautiful.
guys, because the guy who plays Paulie in The Sopranos, you don't see him. It's really quick. He's also in Goodfellas. They used him. He actually drove Henry Hill up to the restaurant when first his wife to be comes up and screams at him. He's the one driving the car, and so it's funny how they tie all that in together because all these guys
They're
have
real.
They just resonate with who the character is.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
what the 2000s
So that's
were.
my movie is Goodfellas. My show is Sopranos
Fuck yeah.
with the honorable mention of Entourage.
No, that's good. That's good. I like it. I like it.
it.
Favorite musical act, band, artist. Who do you
Music.
listen to?
What is it right now?
That's tough because I'm like Jack. I have a wide array of things I listen to.
Top 3 or top 5 if you really feel
Like, what's the go-to? Like, I'll tell you right now, Channel Orange for Frank Ocean is me.
I love
That's
Frank
go-to.
Ocean, bro. I love Frank Ocean.
Channel
That's
Orange,
a great
Frank
album.
Ocean.
That's a great
But
album.
What do you
That's
find
my
yourself
go-to.
listening to? You're driving in the car.
Nowadays
You're
or
on your
just
way to work.
anytime?
You're by yourself.
Nowadays or
okay,
anytime?
So let's do any time, and then what's your go-to where it's like you can't go wrong with this album or song?
I mean, okay, I can't go wrong with this album. Is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy
I mean,
by
come on.
Kanye.
Okay, Kanye. Yeah.
I can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong.
You know what's
It's
funny?
impossible.
You're gonna
Jack
be
said,
hyped
Jack said the
regardless.
same.
I know
thing.
because that's his favorite album.
Yeah,
rap
Jack
album
said
ever,
the
and
exact
that's,
same
that's
thing.
one of mine as well. But I mean, I will say I'm speaking to nowadays, just because nowadays, because my go-to for at least a couple years has been the same thing. I'll go with Rod Wave for one. I fucking
Rod
love. I
Wave.
fucking love Rod
Wow.
Wave, but that's a little more of the current.
He's got good flow.
And then I would say, man, that's tough. A song or an artist?
Either. You have one
dealer's
song you're
choice.
just listening to over
For
and over again?
For
Zealer's
a while,
choice.
for a while, I've actually been like, if I have nothing and I don't know what to listen to, I play "Mama, I'm Coming Home" by Ozzy Osbourne.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
about
I
to
play,
play
I
that
play
on my
that
way
song.
home.
I play that song a lot.
I'm surprised.
I play that song a lot, and I don't listen to Ozzy Osbourne like a lot ever. Just that song.
That
but
specific song.
other than that, like Pink Floyd
Pink Floyd's good. Yeah.
Pink
I like
Floyd.
Good one.
or Led Zeppelin. There's
I
just
mean,
so many.
come
There's
on.
so many. I can't.
Yeah.
You guys need to talk because there's too many.
Now we'll move forward.
All
Next
right,
question.
so,
Move forward. We don't have to do all of them.
Favorite superhero or villain
Oh, that's an easy one. And
or both?
I'm basing this off. I like villains. I don't like superheroes.
Atta boy.
I'm easily going with the Joker. Easily.
There we go.
Which one?
Heath Ledger.
Good.
Heath Ledger's
Heath
a good
Ledger's
one,
Joker.
dude.
Heath Ledger's Joker is, and I don't think anything will ever top it.
It's
I
the
mean,
most real world.
I think if I have anything that's like below that, it would be like Thanos and Infinity War and
Hot take. Do you
Avengers.
agree with Thanos?
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
Same.
As it's a very extremist view.
But
it
it's
works.
50%.
makes
It's
complete sense.
unweighed, right? Like it's random. It doesn't
It's
matter.
absolute genocide, absolutely. But
And
is
it's super
it's-
random. Like
yeah, it's fucked.
it's Marvel. We can agree
Yeah,
upon it. It's whatever.
It is. But I will say, dude, Heath Ledger, man, it's. I mean,
Yo,
I was-
Thanos' mom.
Fire.
just
Yo, Nick showed
just
me a picture
decked out. Wait, a picture.
from comics.
Well, Thanos is
From
actually.
Did she have decked out purple cheeks?
Yo,
No, Thanos is actually a mutant of his planet. So like he is not built.
No, his
the same
mom
as the
is
rest of
his
Titan.
mom looks like a
Yeah.
human, but
They're
yo,
all human.
She's
She's
thick.
fire.
Dude, she's like an avatar, but purple. Or
No,
pink,
she's
pinkish
no,
purple.
she's white, bro.
she's-
They're both
She's
white.
like dick. She's like the color of a dick,
Pink.
but with a hue.
Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah.
Mrs.
They knew
Incredible.
what they were doing. with
Elastigirl. They knew
No,
what they were
Thanos
doing.
had a mutation. That's why he looked that way. That's why everyone hated him.
Well, I fucking love him.
I do. Well, no,
But anyways, he's the only one that comes remotely close to.
No, but Joker's great, dude.
Dude,
Joker's fucking dope.
I forgot what's the guy who plays Harvey Dent. I forgot his name.
I can't remember his name. in real life,
Fuck, I
but
forgot his name. Something starts with an
I know
E.
who you're
His last
talking
name starts with an E. But and I think anyone who knows this, Heath Ledger is one of the best. Rest in peace, one of the
Dude,
best
yes.
actors to ever.
Yes.
And there's this interview with the guy who plays Harvey Dent. And he's talking about, and a variety of them, Christian Bale, all of them talking about Heath Ledger is crazy. So like, if you're a big fan of that, like I think when I say obsessed, I've been obsessed with Heath Ledger's work since I was a little kid. I mean, like when he was in The Patriot, when he was in
Knight's Tale.
I mean, Knight's Tale, like all the things. I just obsessed with
Brokeback
Heath
Mountain.
Ledger
Did you
because
see it?
I did see it, but not obsessed with that one. I will say,
I'm not obsessed with that.
I will say, just anything.
Hey, I read
he's
the
in-
book. I took a. I'm gonna interrupt really quick.
I'm interested.
I took a.
no.
You
You
took a
women-
Brokeback class?
No, shush. Yeah, no, it was a women in film, and
Sound
so
like
the
Joker
women,
there. Oh,
the
shush,
wo-
shush, shush, shush.
a woman, yeah, shush. A woman directed that movie.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously. Anyways, they made us read the book and then watch the movie. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you do in film
How
school,
does
right?
it compare?
The book is better. The book is better.
More graphic.
I mean, it's
Way more
Yeah.
in depth.
Nick liked the.
I like the
pictures
book.
it painted.
yeah.
In
Speaking
depth.
of, I'm the only one married here, so yeah. Anyways,
I mean, here's the thing. Maybe my imagination just fucking sucks. But like when people say like, "Oh, the book was better," I'm like, "Oh, was it?" Because then I read, and then I read
was,
the book,
though.
and then okay, here's the thing. And this is the thing. Maybe I'm just not a literary Nobel laureate or something. And like when I
well, that's
when
a
I-
really
when I-
high
when I-
standard.
when
Put
I
yourself
read when I
out.
read shit, I just like.
Oh, that's
And
great.
then I'm like, oh, like in my mind, because like the job of the author is to make you
seems
feel
the
like
same
you're
as the
there,
movie.
is to make you feel like you have control of the scene and what it would look like.
Yeah.
And I just feel like every time I translate it, the fucking movie's better. And maybe because I'm a more
You're
visual
not a
person.
literary.
You're a
like,
visual.
learner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
You're a
I'm a
visual learner,
visionary.
yeah.
I'm a visionary.
When I read, I
so-
see the movie.
I think the only thing that I've read,
Same.
I think the only thing that I've read ever that I have thought that is better than the movie
Enemy
was
Pie.
the fucking Hobbit because of the fan. I'm so big of a fan that like when I read,
That's
it
fair,
just
yeah.
gave me so many extra details that the movie didn't give me, and that's the reason I liked it more. So
Yeah,
maybe
and,
that's a
like,
personal
I
thing.
mean-
maybe I just have problems, but
No,
I
mean,
hate
like,
the
it's just,
pine
like-
cone scene in the first one.
I think
I-
generally
I
they
don't
just
like
have
it.
so much more detail, and like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
scenes that get cut out. And,
but I
you
feel
know,
like
shit
that's what
that.
books do. They kind of give
Bilbo
you that
kills
extra.
2 wolves in the
Whoa,
book.
spoilers!
kills 2
Yo, spoilers!
But he doesn't. He throws pine cones in the movie. That's what he does. Throws pine cones.
Does he kill them with pine cones?
No.
No, I don't think he does. But
No.
anyways, that was a really big tangent. But I will say Heath Ledger. Anyways, I was saying the guy who plays Harvey Dent and
Aaron
I think
Eckhart.
That's what
Eckert,
it fucking
yeah.
was. Yeah, Eckert. That's what it was. And he's also good in a lot of other things. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's not
He's
about
great
him.
everywhere.
The interview.
I'm saying just in that movie alone. I mean, Christopher Nolan not only did an absolute bang up job on the whole movie. His acting. I think if anyone said, in your opinion, who's the best actor ever, I'm going with Heath for probably my one.
You know he's the only actor with a post-mortem.
I didn't know that.
He has an Oscar.
Damn.
Oh,
postmortem.
for Dark Knight because he got that when he died. Yeah,
I was making a Call of Duty reference.
I forgot.
Yeah.
The grenade when he died.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because there's this interview with that guy who plays Harvey Dent. And he's talking about how Heath Ledger and also like there's a variety of cast members who also say the same thing about his crazy like ways to get into a role. And the guy who plays Harvey Dent says like, you know, we're filming the hospital scene and the crew's setting up. They're trying to get the camera set, and Heath is in the corner staring at the wall, going like growling and shit. Just I think, in my opinion, and I don't think it will ever change ever. As much as I love other movies, as much as I love other cinema that I've seen, Heath Ledger's Joker, in my mind, will be the best acting
Yes.
job that will ever be done.
Best Joker.
I
for
mean,
sure,
Michael
yeah.
Caine, for example, he's been in how many fucking films? This guy is a fucking goat, and he said he's like, dude, I was terrified when I first saw him. Like, it was actually crazy. Like, it just everyone was
You
just
only saw him in one scene.
yeah,
too.
everyone was just floored by his performance. It is, and I think it shows in the movie too because it's crazy. Like,
No, it's
he takes the whole show instantly, like right when he gets on camera.
You know he was our age when he died.
Yeah, it's sad.
Let's not
It's
blow
terrible.
this out of proportion. Yeah, dude. For sure, one of the best fucking. Like,
And because you can
ugh.
see that he gets the script, he makes the words into what they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it was anybody
he
else,
brings-
it was
he
like,
brings the
well,
Joker to life.
Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's like, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Let's get down to
Yeah, he
dancing
was like
that's
he
Jack
was,
Nicholson.
It was a
like, come
Broadway
on.
Joker, and,
Yeah.
and for the times that fit.
It was
perfectly.
perfect.
Yeah, no,
but like in this one, Heath Ledger made him a fucking psychopath and played the like,
Real
all-
world.
the
like
mannerisms
2010
and everything was just
Psycho.
everything was perfect in my opinion. I don't think in my mind, even the day I die, I don't think I'll ever see an acting
Never.
job as a villain. The only one that close as a villain would be Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Only one that's close. Only one that's close in my opinion. But
Dude with the cattle prod.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
anyways,
Even with the gas station guy, he's just a dick.
I
Also,
fucking
get
love
into
him,
anime
yeah.
because like some of the villains in anime get pretty fucking like they're just really well written.
I don't watch anime.
But
unfortunately, so
yeah, it's
sorry.
not for everyone. It's not for
No,
everyone.
it's-
But like,
I
yo, you watched it too?
I just
I
can't.
love that episode.
I can't. I've
I love
tried,
that
I've
episode.
tried, I
yeah.
just can't do it.
All right, so Star
Jedi
Wars
or
time. Sith or Jedi?
Sith,
Good.
Easy.
Who's your favorite Sith?
Darth Vader,
Duh.
Anakin Skywalker.
Good.
Darth Daddy. I
who
like
turns
it.
into
I like it.
Darth Daddy.
You know that's what Vader means, right? His
Do we
father.
do what colors is
Oh, I guess
lightsaber?
so. Yeah.
So Darth means dark, and Vader.
I mean,
means
honestly,
father.
okay,
means
honestly,
father,
though,
so Darth
it's
Daddy.
close. Darth Maul or Darth Vader.
Darth Maul.
Ew.
Yes,
Darth
Darth
Maul.
Maul's my favorite.
Dude,
Sith.
do you remember? Okay, when he
Do
pulled
we
out,
remember?
Darth Maul's
when
my
he
fucking
pulled out the double,
Everyone's
everyone's like, "Whoa!" It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yes,
Honestly, it
dude.
was one of those
it was,
two. It's one
yo,
of those
like
two.
one of my favorite parts is like the fact that he fights with one side, and then like when he's like, "Oh, I need this now." Second
Oh,
side,
there's
and it's
two
just like,
Jedis.
Not to mention the guy who played, I forgot his name.
Ray Park.
Ray Park.
Ray
He
Park.
played him, and when they were talking about like a lot of the, well, it's not dancing, so it's not choreography, but
Yeah.
the
It's
movements.
essentially dancing.
It's,
though.
I guess it is. In how like just because I watched a bunch. I'm a nerd. I watched a bunch of like the
I think
background
I
footage.
mean, you're with.
Just
You're with
it's
weird.
so
Bunch of
fucking
nerds.
sick. And as much as Star Wars has had a reputation for bringing back characters and bringing back stories, that is the one blunder. Obviously, he got chopped in fucking half. They can't bring him back.
It's
But
not. You
he
need to
survives.
watch Clone Wars.
I
He
bro.
feel like-
survives.
the chopping in half.
Yeah,
You need to watch
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
watch Clone Wars. I mean, dude,
He has the
he's-
greatest
That's
arc.
why he's back in
So, hey,
Han Solo.
best Star Wars fight is Sidious against Darth Maul.
You're
in
talking
Clone
about the
Wars.
animated ones.
Yeah, dude, it's the
That's what I'm
best.
talking about.
Stop.
But I know what you're talking.
Stop.
I've heard
it's
it. I've
the
heard it,
best
I've heard it.
fucking fight.
Go to Disney and type in Maul, and it'll give you his entire arc.
I hate
That's all you
Disney.
have to watch.
For sure.
Well, we all do.
7, 8,
but-
and 9 suck.
Yeah.
I say this all the fucking time.
Dude, you want a conspiracy?
What?
Okay, so the conspiracy is as follows. Okay,
As follows.
so okay, so you know how,
Love it.
and here's the thing: it can be discarded as conjecture and bullshit, but it actually kind of makes sense. So you know, how everyone knows this. Maybe you know, Walt Disney is frozen somewhere.
Yeah, they make fun
Yeah.
of it in every show.
Yeah,
ever
he is
created.
frozen
Yeah.
in case we get the technology to bring him back, blah, 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 along with a lot of other rich and powerful people from the past. That is a fact.
Right.
Don't call me crazy because you're a fucking idiot. And so that is an actual thing. So they came out, you know how Disney Frozen, when it came out, was the biggest
Thing.
It still is.
Not only the soundtrack, but the movie. It did crazy numbers, one of the best they've ever done, even despite all the huge successes they've had.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, they've had way better movies.
I
But,
agree.
which the
Hercules,
goof,
dude.
the extremely goofy movie.
Extremely goofy movie was fucking fantastic.
listen to each other's eyes.
Tevin Campbell,
Dude.
absolute
Yo.
amazing. I have both those songs.
The
and I play them all
fucking
the time.
I just
Weasel?
watched
Same.
it to sleep the other night.
It's amazing.
Helena
Yo.
hates on me for knowing those songs, and I'm like, you know
Alex
what?
hates. Alex doesn't. Okay, she doesn't hate, but she doesn't like it either. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that, animated
Pauly
like
Shore as
Disney
the
movies
fucking
wise,
high
I
homie?
watch the
Are you
Goofy
kidding
movie
me?
over and
An
over and over.
extremely
Cheesy.
goofy movie. Extra
It's
cheesy.
the
I've been looking for that
Tower
pizza
of
they've
Love.
eaten for fucking years.
Bro, I knew it. I just fucking know that it tasted so fucking good.
Yeah.
That
Had to.
that cheese pizza was
Had
so
to.
cheesy, bro.
Dude, it was.
But what's the conspiracy?
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. The conspiracy is okay.
We gotta
Now,
get wrapping
now
up
you
here
type
soon.
in. So once upon a time, you type, "Oh, Walt Disney is frozen," and that all the articles will come up and, "Oh yeah, Walt Disney's frozen." Blah blah. Now you type in Walt Disney frozen. Walt Disney is frozen. Walt Disney is frozen. His body's frozen. The movie comes
Do
up.
you think it was
The
to
movie
hide the
comes
fact?
up. A lot of people think it's because to anyone who would randomly think, "Oh, I'll Google that and look," the movie comes up first. So then, because you have to scroll down to get to the articles, because you have to go on like you have to go down.
They're
to
playing Google.
Get, yeah, a lot of people think that that's why.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Genius.
very interesting.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, just with any information, if it's not looked up, like, it just gets forgotten.
and that
So,
that
like,
could
I
just
guess,
be
yeah.
that
It's a
that
void.
could be a random weird thing. But I mean, with all the weird things surrounding Disney, that's why I don't see that as a random like coincidence.
Let's never forget.
Not to mention, there's a whole city under the fucking amusement park. By the way.
what?
I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about this.
Look it up.
I was just there.
This is a
There
whole
is an
nother
entire
episode. A whole
movie.
nother
Whole
episode.
nother
Stay
episode.
tuned
We are
for
getting
There's an
episode
weird.
entire
31.
fucking city under there, dude. I'm telling you.
Stay.
You know what they say on the city?
weird.
Stay weird.
Stay weird.
You know,
Weirdly artistic. Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.